When I was 24 years old and practically broke, I bought my first investment property with just 30,000 Rand in my bank account. After working a 9-to-5 job for a couple of years, I realized that I wouldn't get rich off a salary. I also saw that putting my money into a retirement annuity month after month wouldn't get me to retire early. In fact, this would cost me more of my own money every month. So I searched for options to make money at low risk and without loads of capital. I started making good money investing in the stock market, but I wanted to invest in something a bit more tangible that I had more control over. That's when I stumbled upon the secret of getting other people to pay for my retirement. This is something that is spoken about a lot in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. So if you haven't read that book before, definitely make sure to buy it. I bought a 645,000 Rand property using other people's money. I used the cash in my bank account to pay lawyers for transfer fees and registration. This was the only money I had to use out of my own pocket, but I had a plan from the beginning to get back all of my invested capital. A few months later, I went back to the bank and I did a refinance. Basically, the property value was around 800,000 Rand, but remember, I only paid 645,000 Rand. So I had an equity position of 155,000 Rand just a few months later. Suddenly, I had capital available of up to 155,000 Rand, and it was more than my yearly salary at that time. So that is when I realized how property is a very powerful investment class. This is a quick story of how other people's money will pay for my early retirement. The moment I bought this investment property, the rental income I received from it covered the bond and the levies and obviously all of the other expenses. So I had some cash flow at the end of the month. But more importantly, the 7,000 rent I received immediately became income in the bank's eyes. This meant I could access another loan. This time again with zero deposit, I secured a 550,000 Rand townhouse that was actually worth 650,000 Rand. I used the capital from my previous investment, that was the refinance amount, to pay for the transfer and registration costs. So again, I used none of my own money. Year one, I got 5,500 Rand rental income from this property, and year over year, I continued to raise the rent. From here on, a tenant pays the property for me, and I won't have to pay in a cent going forward. And I not only benefit from capital appreciation, I also collect cash every month to put down towards my next property, as well as principal pay down. I'm 27 years now. I own multiple properties. Combined, they're worth millions of rands. I've used the bank's money to buy all of them, except my initial investment. Obviously, that is the amount that I had to use to pay for transfer and registration costs, but 6 months down the line, I got back the initial investment. That is done by doing a refinance. Over the years, I haven't invested much of my own money in property, yet my net worth keeps increasing. A couple more years and they'll be paid off. By then, I'll own even more properties. I could easily make enough money to retire earlier than my father or even my mother. I don't need miracles, massive capital growth, or big bank balances. All I need is a willing tenant and the bank's money. I'm sure you've heard rental horror stories before about property investors who lost loads of money, but that's just part of investment risk. Sure, I need to be prudent. I can't overextend myself with the debt the banks lend me, but I'm in the position where even a large increase in interest rates wouldn't hurt my property business. I've picked up a couple of tricks from property managers and agents regarding tenants. In the years, I haven't had a single month's vacancy on any of my properties. I'm constantly asked how I did it, and after some persuasion from friends, I decided to make this video. Of course, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration before just starting. First of all, always acquire the right knowledge first. Get a mentor or someone that can help help you. Make sure that you understand that property should be run like a business. You should never ever own property in your own name. Also, always remember that you make your money when you buy, meaning that buying undervalued property is basically the best way to get started in the property business. The last thing I want to do is to brag or to throw my weight around on this platform, but I hope that this video can inspire other young investors to get started in property, and that anyone that is willing to learn and commit to the process can succeed. I am by no means where I want to be, but it sure helps to share with you guys where I came from and where I am now. Obviously, there's so many different ways to acquire properties, whether it's through seller financing, micro loans, hard money lenders, or even programs like FLISP. FLISP is a finance-linked subsidy program in South Africa that can help low-income earners to acquire property. If you haven't checked that out already, make sure that you Google it and try to see if you can qualify for this specific program. There's obviously quite a lot of requirements that needs to be met, but this is definitely another option for people that don't have the cash available or don't even have a good credit score at the moment. Although this is not a technical video sharing the exact process of how everything happened, there's a couple of videos under the real estate playlist on my YouTube channel where you can see some of the videos where I explain certain things in more detail. Definitely go and check those videos out. Let me know if there's a specific thing that you want me to cover regarding this process. With that said, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.